Hey everyone, welcome to today's MTG Arena Rapid Deck Tech. And today I've got a 2022 brew for you, and it's Esper EXILE. I thought there was a lot of really good EXILE cards coming into 2022 Standard. Hopefully we get a lot more, but this is the deck that I've laid out for us to play. So hopefully you got a lot of these cards, you can put this together and start playing it in your 2020-22 queues. I just can't say 2022, I don't know why. So we're going to have a start looking at it. EXILE, what can we do? What can we do with EXILE? Well, we've got Elite Spellbinder in there. Ends the battlefield. Look at target opponent's hand. You may exile an on-land card for it, for as long as the card remains exiled. So we've got a few of these beat-down creatures in the deck. Skyclave Apparition is a really good card. It's all about slowing your opponent down with this deck. This ends the battlefield. You exile one target non-land permanent with mana of cost 4 or less. When it leaves the battle, they get an XX blue illusion token, so they don't get the card, but you know, however big it is, 4, 3, 2, 1 is how big the creature is they get if they manage to kill the apparition or get it to leave the battlefield. We also have new from D&D Forgotten Realms, Gelatinous Cube. 4 mana 4/3, engulf, ends the battlefield, exile target non-ooze, so as long as you're not coming against any ooze tribal decks, if there's any oozes left instead, I think there may be, you get to take it, put it away, bit like the old Skyclave, but this you can dissolve it, so you can get rid of it. Put target creature with mana cost value X or less into their graveyard. So they will get it into their graveyard, so against graveyard strategies it probably won't be as good, but failing that, you can get it, and then you have to spend mana into getting rid of it, which might seem a little bit, but if you've got nothing left to do with your mana, you can just get rid of it. But I still think it's very on theme with the deck. It's a 4/3 beta, and it gets to exile something, and it's bigger than, Skyclave Apparition is 4 or less. This can just exile it, so it's really cool. We then rely on some Planeswalkers. We do have another creature in there, I will say, exile for us. So Cosima works well on the theme. Beginning of your upkeep, you might exile Cosima. Whenever a land ends the battlefield under your control, you can exile it, put a voyage counter on it. When a land comes in, you can put those counters on. It comes back and draws you cards, which is really good, and becomes, a fairly big beta. I'm not really using it for the Omen Kill, which is the artifact, but you can if you want. It's got Crew 1. Still has that, player exiling cards, so has that effect, which is really cool. I've just not had the chance to use it for that just yet. But I like it. I had it in there as a 2, 2 first of all, but I had to drop it, but I might try and up it again for 1. So if you find it's doing a little bit more work for you than it has for me so far, put an extra one in, but I will try and squeeze another one in at some point. We got Planeswalkers to help finish the game out. We've got Kaya that works really well with -3 exiling a permanent, putting ghost form counters on our creatures, so when they do get removed, they can, come back to our hand and make a white spirit token. Then we can go over with our spellbinders, apparitions, and do it all again. Start exiling. And a great win con is Professor Onyx. The Liliana Magecraft is cool. We've got a few creatures in the deck. We do have 13 creatures, which is not many, but a few for this type of controlling sort of deck. Instants and sorceries, 21 of them. So we've got plenty of ways to drain our opponent with Professor Onyx and potentially get back into the game when we want to gain life as well. Sacrificing big creatures is good for the -3, and the -8 is sometimes it's just win on the spot. So it's really cool. Late additions to the deck were Doomskar, because I'm finding I had a few more creatures in there at the start. And a couple of other different things. I was trying the new 1 mana. It escapes me now. It was a 1 mana enchantment that exiled 2 mana or less in the deck. It just wasn't very good, and it was just too slow. The name completely escapes me now. It's from the new Forgotten Realms deck. Someone will put it in the comments for me. But yeah, Doomskar added, and it can just help us out. Early game, turn 3 Wrath can be really good, potentially. What else do we have? We have Bloodchief's Thirst as removal as well. We've got 2 of them. We've got a couple of Vanishing Verse. Sometimes can be awkward, but it's very good against certain types of creatures. Not so much against the new Blue Dragon, Imrith. That's an awkward card to get rid of. The Ward 4 makes that very good, and I'm thinking about possibly putting 1 in here, but I didn't put 1 in here because, I'm on the Exile theme. But I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to make your own addition to this deck. This is just the guide for you if you want to put that in there, potentially if you've got one for a nice little finisher as well. We've got Poison the Cup. Great removal, destroy target creature. If it's foretold, you get to scry 2 as well, which is good. And then we've got Baleful Mastery. Excuse me. So, a bit of card draw for Behold the Multiverse. I should have said the universe, then Behold the Multiverse. This has Foretell as well. It's probably the best draw spell that we've got in 2022, I'd say. And there is the one with the dice rolling effect, but that's a bit random, and you only get to draw 3 cards if you roll a 20. This is always guaranteed, scry 2, draw 2 cards. So, for me, it's the best for us in this deck. Bit more removal, hand removal. Check for traps. I like this card, new from Forgotten Realms. Reveals their hand, choose an unknown card from it, exile it, so very on theme with our deck as well. And if it's an instant card with flash, it's exiled this way, we lose 1 life, otherwise we lose 1 life. So it can either be, you know, an instant or a flash card, and then, yeah, they lose 1 life, which is always pretty handy. Test for talents, just for awkward instants and sorceries. But yeah, pretty much that is the deck. We're going to get to the lands now. We've got a couple of Glasspool Mimics, because they're great for copying any of our creatures that sort of come in. Really cool for copying, you know, Gelatinous or, you know, anything. It's just going to be bonus for us, because we get to, like, take a card out of hand, exile something, anything like that. And the lands. So I've got a couple of the old creature lands. I've got Hive of the Eye Tyrant. I've also got Cave of the Frost Dragon, and I've got Hall of Storm Giants. So all of these creatures can, all of these lands can turn into creatures, which is, you know, pretty good as an extra beat down as well for us. I'm not playing the colourless creature land, just because when you look at our deck, we got double white, we got double black. I don't really, I mean, you could possibly maybe fit 1 or 2 in, but I don't really want to get stuck with the, you know, with this type of mana base. And I found that Esper, even with the pathways, maybe it's just Arena for me. Sometimes gives you awkward lands, but with these lands, you've got to make the decision sometimes earlier than you want to, which colour you want to put in, which is why the pathways are a little bit annoying for me. Still good, but, you know, sometimes it can lead to a mistake and not be your fault. So that is, you know, the land base. Play 6 are just there as well. But this is Esper Exile. Hope you enjoyed this rapid deck tech. Give it a go if you can. Let me know what you think of deck. It has been, if you saw us on our stream, we started off with a totally different configuration and we got it to this. And I then started to win some games with it, which is what I want to do when, you know, obviously you build a deck. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video and it's been helpful and you enjoyed it, there's going to be lots more deck techs on the way. Smash this to 50 likes plus like you did in the last one. Then the gameplay followed for this. There's more gameplay coming from the Mono Red Goblins deck this week as well, which you smashed over to 50 likes. And there's gameplay from the Simic Lands deck already up. If you haven't seen that video, please go and check that out. That was put out on Sunday. But yeah, you lot take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Big shout out at the end of the video for all my Patreons. I really appreciate that extra support. But I'll see you on the next one.